Field is set. Double file racing, but right now, let's go trackside with, I believe, Connor for a quick opening report.
Well, one winner that we've had this year is the 66 car, Justin Bren, but it's been a while though. Last one in June, and they've had a little bit of bad luck ever since, but they've got a good starting spot tonight. Won their heat race, they're fast, and he's also got a new sponsor on the car, George Mack LLC, so hopefully they're gonna have a good night out there.
Let's see if the George Mack LLC car can get the job done off turn number 4. Rich Keeter looks him over, double green, snapping in the air, and it is Barkowski leading him. Clements to the inside as Nozick is right there, Matt.
That was a pretty daring move by Clement, but he was able to get to the inside and avoid making contact with Nozick. Maybe the fastest car of all is the 04 Albert Saunders as he tries to climb around that. Oh, Nozick sideways. Can he correct it? Yes, he can.
He does it, and that is in the line of the Arute boys, Paul Arute and David Arute, now setting in the 5th and 6th spot. Bren down low on him. Nozick is dancing like he's on ice skates with that 00 car. There is Sears right in front of David Arute, and right behind Paul Arute. That seems to be the hot spot of the racetrack.
And it is Brent trying to make a move. He has gotten by Austin Bassett. Now he is going after the 28 car. Some hard racing there between Paul Arute, Norm Sears, David Arute, and Justin Brent.
Good action wherever you look in that pack of cars, as now Paul Arute masters the inside. Nozick is there, forcing Paul Arute down to the infield, opening up the groove for David Arute. And David Arute has now moved into the 4th spot, and Nozick set stranded in the Mojave Desert on the inside of the front straightaway.
Boy, that car misbehaved on a couple of occasions coming out of turn number 4, but that time he got tangled up with Paul Arute, and the guy who got the worst of it was definitely the 00 of Joe Nozick, and now he gets it to roll, but a costly maneuver for the 00. From Bristol, Connecticut, the Bristol Basher, as he likes to be called, and he will settle in at the rear of the field. Glenn Barkowski had a big lead, but now that has gone bye-bye.
It certainly has, and we'll see what the restart lineup is going to look like, because, you know, the old saying, forward motion. The number 82 car kept going in forward motion. It did not stop. Therefore, he should go back into the position that he was running. We talked about that last week, but that is the case because Paul Arute kept his foot in it down through the center of the infield, kept powering and came right back out, never stopped or missed a beat.
And there he is on cue. Paul Arute getting into his proper starting position. 3 laps into this race. Dwayne Provost, a winner last week. And right now, he is currently running pretty far back as he was in 10th before the caution came out. And Glenn Barkowski has led a lot of laps this year, always early in the race, and that car has been known to go away from him about in the second half of the race, and we'll see today if he can rectify that situation.
So it looks like with 3 laps down in the record books, field is being told to cross over and double up. Barkowski and Clements, Saunders and David Arute, Paul Arute 3 rows back on the inside, and then it'll be Sears in the 6th spot, Austin Bassett in 7th, and then the George Mack LLC car for Bren will be setting in the 8th spot. Lights are off on the pace car from Whelen Engineering. It'll dive to the center of the infield. Keeter looking the field over. Back to the stripe they come. And there is the green. And you called it, Matt. Barkowski looks racy at the point.
Now it's Albert Saunders trying to dive bomb his way underneath the 59 of Clement. Pretty strong move. David Arute is going to try the same technique, and he does, to get into 3rd.
His brother Paul Arute follows him through in the 4th spot. Austin Bissett is a mover and shaker on the inside. Outside lane is where Sears is, and that doesn't seem to be the quickest right now. Provost is threading the needle through traffic. Challenge for the lead. Here comes Saunders again, but David Arute is knocking on heaven's door. Paul Arute is right there too.
And rounding out the top 5 is Austin Bissett in car number 64. Behind him is Cliff Saunders. And then on the inside in 7th, that is Dwayne Provost. So Provost is picking up some ground as they scurry their way off the corner. Going to the outside is Albert Saunders. That move didn't work. Let's see if it pays off as they approach turn 3.
While that's been happening, David Arute has found the groove on the bottom, and it works for him. David Arute is now challenging for the lead. 3 wide action at the point. Barkowski like the point of an arrow. David Arute inside, going, almost gone. Saunders gives him a tap to the bumper, sends him on by, and David Arute becomes the leader on lap 7 when they cross the line.
So he ricochets his way into the lead, but Albert Saunders has some room on the inside now. And the yellow has come out on lap number 7, the second yellow of the race.
It is for debris, looks like a hood, underneath the TSI Harley-Davidson billboard on the backstretch. We're not sure which car that has come off. We'll try to check this time as they come by.
We'll probably find some evidence when they come off the corner. Who do you think it is, Ben?
I think it might be, it looks white, could be the Barkowski car. And yes, for a blind old fool that I am, it is the Barkowski car that loses the hood. And there is the black flag, sending Barkowski's machine to the center of the infield. And Matt, you pointed it out before, these guys don't have the luxury of having a crew there.
No, so once you go to the infield, your night is over. So Glenn Barkowski, once again, he dominated the early portion of this race, but the caution I think came out, or the first caution came out a little too early for his liking, and now he'll hobble onto the pit road. The leader, David Arute, in car number 28, so he was able to stick his nose into the lead, and David Arute has a lead on lap number 7. And in the past, when David Arute has won a race, Ben, it's usually been taking the lead in the last few laps.
It certainly is.
So this is unusual that he's taken the lead this early, and that could be because he has a pretty good car.
It sure could be, and he is usually a good closer that saves his car very patiently and so forth with it, but the cream is starting to rise to the top, and David is part of the group that's on the rise. Behind him, his brother Paul Arute, and it looks like the 7 hood is going back on the race car, and maybe he might be able to return to the competition here. Let's see what's going to happen. Looking him over, Rich Geeter gives him the green, and Saunders has a little more giddy up when they go to green, but David Arute has a car that works on the bottom. Off the turn, down the back straightaway. David Arute back in command. Here comes Paul Arute following his brother to the front of the class. And now Austin Bissett muscles his way on the outside, Max.
And that's why they call him Awesome Austin, because he was able to make a strong move on the outside, a stronger move down low by Paul Arute. Here comes Albert Saunders going for the lead, trying to bomb his way underneath the 28 of David Arute.
David Arute, a different line last time by. At the stripe, timing and scoring shows Albert Saunders by inches in command. But look at David Arute, the crossover move, bottom shot, down into turn number 3.
Nobody does that crossover move better in the limited late models division than David Arute. He just executed it now, and he is dead even with Saunders. Maybe a slight advantage to the 04s. They lead on each other. In the second turn, they go too high.
David Arute comes back across the racetrack. Paul Arute, his brother, takes over the lead. There is 2, 3 cars, 4 cars on the racetrack, but the caution flag comes out. And the reason for the caution is one car is stranded, and that is David Arute, who once was the early leader of the event. Taking over that number 1 spot is Paul Arute, his brother, with car number 82.
Paul was able to get by on a 3-wide situation. A pretty alert piece of driving there when David Arute went up the track with Albert Saunders. That opened up an alley, and Paul Arute was able to get by. Paul has gotten stronger as the season has progressed. Early in the year, his number 1 goal was just to finish races, and now he would like to win one, but he will be going side by side on this restart with that 88 car of Dwayne Provost. So a very interesting confrontation on this restart halfway through the race.
And it appeared that as they went down into turn number 1 while under green, everybody kind of came together in that front pack of cars, and when they did, that kind of set off a chain reaction, and everybody scrambled. And as you said, Paul Arute was in the right place at the right time and just quickly moved into the lead, and Provost followed him through. Hayes was in there. Bassett backed out of it just for a second, and he's now still setting in the 4th spot. 10 laps are down.
David Arute's car being pushed onto the safety road, so car number 28. So it looks like he will join that number 7, Barkowski, is being out of commission. Brian Clement in car number 59, he is headed back out onto the track. So what a great move by Paul Arute as he was able to avoid problems. And he was able to get by both his brother and Albert Saunders. And now the stage is set for a very interesting double file restart between Paul Arute and Dwayne Provost. It is tough to win 2 in a row in this division because of the competition. So Dwayne Provost is going to have his hands full. It is Connor Sullivan on pit road. He is standing by with David Arute. Let's go for this Flamingo Motorsports report.
David, close racing out there. What happened?
My throttle was sticking on lap 1, so I was just trying to drive it as much as I could, and I gave it too much brake in that one corner, and the brakes locked up. Sorry to Al Saunders. Hope the rest of the race is good.
All right, that's the word. Let's go back for the restart.
Back up front, all eyes are on the 2 black cars in the front row. Provost quickly muscles up some momentum in the outside lane. Provost is the brand new leader. Paul Arute isn't giving up. Andrew Hayes is there. Austin Bassett is there. And Paul Arute is reeling back in on Provost. Gives him a little smooch. Coming off the turn, they're wheel to wheel and side by side.
Another man who's not giving up is Andrew Hayes. He is in 3rd, 3 wide in a corner. Andrew Hayes with a great move, a daredevil move, trying to get the lead away from Paul Arute. They are dead even, heading into turn number 4. And Andrew Hayes has moved in front. Arute goes around. He is in trouble.
And it is a mad scramble with a lot of damage done as car number 36 hits at a ton. Austin Bassett is in the middle of that. Paul Arute is there.
He's able to drive away.
But
Nojic able to drive away, but not too many others are.
Nope. And the car that suffered a ton of damage is the Norm Sears number 36 car. Serdell's car also on the bottom of the racetrack, and Bassett's car set stranded crossways on the track as well. So,
well, Andrew Hayes was able to move in front as soon as he got by the 9. There was a big commotion in turn number 4, and the 82 went around, and all of a sudden it was target practice.
Heartbreaker of that one, it was definitely Sears, who had no place to go and just was involved in the middle of all of that.
Looks like there might even be some damage on that number 9 car.
Could
we'll
be the
check it out
case.
again when it comes in front of us. Definitely some damage on the 00 of Joe Nojic.
Austin Bassett's car being picked up by the wrecker from the back end of the race car. But the Sears car is the car that really took the hardest of the hit, car number 37. Paul LaRue, of course, was on the outside.
That was a double whammy for
Yes,
Norm
it was.
Sears. He had contact in the beginning. Then when he went to the outside, or to the inside, somebody clipped him. And that's why he has damage all over that car, as that car is pretty badly bruised.
So 12 of the 20 circuits are complete. Leader on the front straightaway. The Hayes car, you can see the right side door and rear quarter is pushed in. Provost is still in second. Jesse Hines now among the top 3 cars. And then it's the 4 machine of Cliff Saunders, started back in the 7th position. So work continues. Usually in our limited late model class, they really run pretty much without a problem. Tonight, a couple of jingles.
And then a serious problem.
Yes.
Now tomorrow, for those of you who are subscribers to Cox Communications in Enfield, at 2 o'clock, it'll be short track racing at Stafford Motor Speedway, as you'll be able to see some of the great races of the 2014 season. It will be on at 2 o'clock tomorrow, and that's if you're a Cox subscriber and you live in the Enfield area, the Stafford area, Suffield, Summers, East Windsor, Granby, East Granby. If that's the area in which you live, Windsor Locks, you'll be able to see short track racing at Stafford Motor Speedway tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
So down on pit road, car number 87 on the back of the hook. Paul Root is down on pit road as well. The 59 and the 7 cars, they were involved in earlier jingles. Austin Bissett's car, damage done to the rear end, and then Norm Sears' car is destroyed, the entire front end of the number 36 car. And the Family Ford of Enfield Safety Services crew are definitely getting a workout tonight. And you know, we talk about fireworks at the end of the show, and we said there'd be some in the race program. Well, we didn't lie, did we?
Yeah, I think that qualifies.
Yep.
Pyrotechnics, motorized pyrotechnics, and even Andrew Hayes, the leader, has some damage to the right side of his car.
Nojik's
there's
car.
not too many cars out there, Ben, without any battle scars.
Nojik's car comes down on pit road. It looks like that might have a tire going down on the machine. Chuck Zantarski out there is a former champion, truly one of the gentle giants of this sport, a real nice guy with a real passion. And the best part about him is Chuck Zantarski knows how to speak to competitors. In their hottest moments, he's able to calm them down. In their quietest moments, he's able to fire them up. And that takes a real guy to get that job done.
Yeah, that is a talent, to say the right words at the right time. Of course, one thing Chuck Zantarski has going for him, he is well respected because he was one of the great late model drivers in Stafford history. So Connor Sullivan is busy. He is standing by with Paul LaRue. And let's go downstairs for this Flamingo Motorsports report.
Here with a very disappointed Paul LaRue. It's been a tough night for both the brothers out there. Paul, your take on what happened?
It's comical is all it is. I was driving, I got by the 88 fine over there, I gave him a bump and run like he does to everybody else out there, and next thing you know, the 9 turns me. Wrecks 1, 2, 3 cars. I gotta thank Supreme Industries, the sponsor. Gotta thank the fans for coming out. Thanks for coming out, guys. Thank Nichols College, Napa, of course. Sucks, we had a great car, it was fun. We were dicing up there. Next thing you know, I'm in the fence. Thank you, Andrew Hayes, I appreciate it.
Let's go back to the tower.
8 laps will be remaining when we get this cleaned up. Very interesting developments tonight in the limited late models. We'll have the SK Lights next. Jeremy Sherrill, the point leader in that. Then we'll have the SK Modifieds. As we had some great heat race action earlier tonight. So the stage is set. 24 SK Modifieds were signed in for heat racing. And we should have a very talented field. It will be the Grenade, Sean Foster, starting on the pole tonight. And actually 25 SK Modifieds are in the starting lineup. So a great field of cars and a great front row. Sean Foster and Tommy Bowles, two drivers who are extremely hungry for a victory.
They sure are. Todd Owen, the same can be said about him. Kurt Brainerd, it's been some time as well. And as we said before, it's going to be great racing action. And then the program at the conclusion after the late models, fireworks in the air, 6 cars left, 8 laps to go. Frustration for some and success for others.
Trying to get the jump on the outside. Dwayne Provost getting all he can handle from Andrew Hayes. And Hayes is back in front.
Hayes quickly moves into the lead. Provost settles back into second. Here comes Saunders to the outside. The color green looking for money. And then Jesse Hines, who's been quiet all over the first half of this race. He is no longer quiet. He's making some noise. He wants to go to the podium.
Well, he survived the first 13 laps. Now he is going to try to race for the final 7. Power move, Justin Bren, as he is able to get by the 4 of Cliff Saunders. So Bren is in a hurry, and Andrew Hayes has a dominant car with 6 laps to go.
And it appears that the 04 is also heading down the pit road with disappointment on his race car and his team as well. Back up front, hot spot on the racetrack is the 4th and the 5th spot. Saunders working over Brand and the George Mack LLC car. 5 circuits to go. Hayes, the Nantucket Community College car, and Provost run nose to tail. Jesse Hines still sets in the 3rd spot back.
And we could have a battle for 4th and 5th as Justin Bren trying to hang on to that position. But in the neighborhood is the 4 of Cliff Saunders. So we are checking that out. And now the 66 of Brent pulls away. Trying to pull away from Dwayne Provost is Andrew Hayes. But that definitely is not easy, as Hayes cannot get loose from that number 88 car. And Hayes is tightening things up a bit as they go into turn 4.
He certainly is. And there is 17 laps now complete with 3 circuits remaining in the event. Hayes is being hunted down. Provost closing up the gap. Remember, these guys are running for the points. Every position is 2 points. It might not sound a lot, but it is in the final tally. Back to the stripe they come. Twirling 2s in the air. 1 mile remains in this limited late model main event.
And Andrew Hayes trying to put the exclamation point on the sentence as he still has a sturdy lead over that number 88 car, Dwayne Provost, and the man in 3rd, the 24 of Jesse Hines. And if Hayes can keep it going for 1 more lap, he will increase his point lead to 18 points.
Final circuit, final time through turn 1. Hayes isn't slowing a bit. Provost isn't gaining at all. Hines is about the same distance between him and Provost. Down to turn number 3. Here comes the double checkers as they come off turn number 4. And Andrew Hayes, the Nantucket Community College car, will take down the win. Provost will finish in 2nd. Jesse Hines for 3rd. Cliff Saunders for 4. And Justin Bren to finish in the 5th spot.
And everybody else finished the race on the sidelines. Albert Saunders in 6th, Paul Arute in 7th, Joe Nojic in 8th, Austin Bassett in 9th, and Norm Sears in 10th.
R.J. Serdell will finish in 11th. David Arute will finish in 12th. Brian Clements 13th. And Glenn Barkowski to round out the top 14. Well, it was a tough night for some, but when all the smoke and dust cleared, the top 3 head to the podium. And, well, the point battle is even now more heated.
Yeah, the 4th win of the year for Andrew Hayes, but he only was able to increase his lead by 2 points, so it's now 18 points with a maximum of 3 races left in the season. So an 18-point lead, that can disappear in just a couple of laps. So I have a feeling the Limited Late Model Championship will be going down to the final turn of the final lap like it usually does. Dwayne Provost, another solid run. And Jesse Hines, I think the best word you can say for him tonight is survival. He was able to avoid all the incidents, and he is rewarded for that with a third-place finish.
He certainly was, and did a fine job of staying out of the line of fire. Chuck Zantarski is down there observing. Nobody's going to get anything by him. And Napa Victory Lane is set up, and it looks like Connor Sullivan is going to be our host to meet and greet our winner. Connor, get in where the action is.
Another win for our points leader in the limited late model division, Andrew Hayes. It looked like a rough and tumble night out there. Take us through it.
I'll tell you what, there was a lot of beating and banging there in the first couple laps. Not sure if we were going to make it after that first one. I thought the nose was all jacked up. We're going to overheat, but made it through, and, we just came out with our 4th victory of the season. It feels great.
Who would you like to thank for getting you to Napa Victory Lane?
It's Nantucket Community College, Local 3059, all the people who donated to MDA, Fill the Boot. Big thanks to them, my dad, my brother, On Point Connections, Tow Protection Security Systems, all the fans that come here every night make this stuff possible, just everyone who helps out, my dad, my Uncle Bob, my little brother Patrick who's here tonight. Just feels great.
All right, that's the story for our top survivor tonight. 4th win of the year for Andrew Hayes in the limited late models as we bring in Dwayne Provost, another survivor out there. Take us through the night.
That was the wildest race of the year so far. It was there was a lot of beating and banging out there, and congrats to Andrew on getting by me. Once he got by me, I think I broke a steering arm bolt or something, and I didn't want to push it after that last caution, so I just kind of stayed where I was and kind of floated for the race.
Who would you like to thank for your podium finish?
I want to thank Gus Coelho from Gus's Auto Service. He had a bad wreck last week and helped him out a little bit, and I'm not sure how he did tonight, but he always supports me and is great, good friends as well. I want to thank Jolly Joe K for stopping by every week and throwing me some gas money, and great. It's great having him on board. And I want to thank the Resting Souls of Massachusetts Motorcycle Club for supporting me as well.
All right, that's the story from our 2nd place finisher tonight, Dwayne Provost, as we'll bring in our 3rd place man behind the Crazy Bruce's number 24 card, Jesse Hines. You had a couple of close calls out there. Take us through the night.
I was gone for 2 weeks, but coming back, that was a wild race. Those guys were going back and forth and beating and banging each other, but I got to first wish a get well to my girlfriend's father. He's been in the ICU for the past week and a half, so I hope he gets real well. And I also got to thank BFR Chassis for putting this car back together, because when we wrecked it a few weeks ago, it was junk. And I got to thank TA Engines and also my father and everybody else who helps us out. Crazy Bruce's Liquor for coming on board and sponsoring us this year. It's just, it hasn't been our best year, but, we'll take them as they come, and we'll go from there.
All right, 3rd place finish for Jesse Hines here at Stafford tonight. That's it for the limited late models. Let's go back to the tower.
Well, coming up next, it is our late model feature event of 30 laps, as Matt has just mentioned. 16 cars strong, and Rich Hammond will be starting at the point from Tolland, Connecticut, in the J&S Industrial Repairs machine.
Car number 7 will be next in the Casa Grande Motorsports car. Stafford's all-time winning Dare Stock driver, Kyle Casagrande.
Shark Cycle Casa Grande Builders brings us the one from Stafford Springs, Connecticut, Corey Casagrande.
Climbing aboard car number 18 from Furnabush, New York, in the Syracuse Utilities Incorporated and BNC Motorsports car, Mike Scorzelli.
Here's a guy with a ton of talent, the Onyx Spirit Life Care Family Chiropractic number 41 from Stafford Springs, Connecticut, J.J. Hill.
He's back with his good race car number 92, in the Safeco Foam and King Ward Coach Lines machine from East Longmeadow. Here is Tom Fern.
Flamingo Motorsports number 17, Munson, Massachusetts, for the multiple champion, the quiet one, Jim Peterson.
Car number 32, the underrated one from Ellington, in the Raftery fine grading car, Kevin Gambacorta.
Last week's feature event winner, the Rat on a Machine number 15 from Palmer, Mass, Josh Wood.
And then in car number 97, our point leader in the Meadows Motor Car and Leon's Auto Repair Machine, it is Adam Gray.
11th starting spot, two-time feature event winner. They call him the Magnum. Michael Bennett from Willington, Connecticut. The Alpine Tree Service, Mainline Heating and Supply. TSI Harley-Davidson, number 16.
Erasable Images Power Washing and Pettit Race Engines brings us car number 99. The Big Whistle, Scott Cook.
Here's one of the great veterans, Butler Motorsports, number 4, from Stafford Springs, Connecticut. Had a great run last Friday, Tommy Butler.
Then it's car number 31. He's done great things since joining the field at midseason in the RRC Motorsports car, Rush Hour, Rick Lanigan.
And taking over the Big Kahuna, number 28, from East Longmeadow, Massachusetts, Darrell Keene.
And we have two sets of brothers in this field. We have the Casagrande brothers, and we have the Ferd brothers, driving car number 2 from East Longmeadow, Mass. And he is going to have to drive well to keep up with his daughter. I think he put some pressure on this driver, Stuart Ferd. His daughter, Alexandra, won earlier tonight in the Dare Stocks.
And we remind you, don't go away, because following the conclusion of this event, a spectacular aerial fireworks display, and it's all going to be taking place center stage to highlight the school's back night of racing. Green flag is back out, and Rich Hammond tries to hold off Casagrande with the 7, but it doesn't work as the 7 of Kyle Casagrande sets the pace out in front.
Hammond in the middle of a Casagrande burger. As Kyle is in front of him, Corey was behind him, and now Corey surges in front of him, and he moves into second.
J.J. Hill running the bottom up to the 4th spot, now moves underneath Gamba Corda to try to challenge for 3rd. Jim Peterson is there, Josh Wood is there, so is Infern. All starting to rise forward and march to the front.
And Hill holding off Peterson, almost triple wide as they go into the first corner. And the survivor of that is Mike Sorzelli in car number 18, but also moving quickly toward the front is Josh Wood, last week's winner.
Certainly is, and Wood is looking very racy. 3-wide action, forcing the 23 on the top side of the racetrack. Tommy Fern and Gamba Corda. Now Michael Bennett seems to get a little second helping of adrenaline there, and he'll pick up a spot. With him is Butler. Look at Josh Wood beneath the Scorzelli race car. That's the battle for 5th. Uh-oh. They are sideways, but Scorzelli does a masterful job and gathers in back max.
Yeah, he loses a couple spots, one of them right now to Tom Fern in car number 92. But Scorzelli did a good job just to keep that car off the wall. Big lead, Kyle Casagrande. We have seen this before, and Kyle has not been able to seal the deal. Two brothers in the top 2 spots, Kyle and Corey.
And they have not had their best season by any stretch of the imagination. But right now, a great battle going on for 3rd. J.J. Hill, the kid from Stafford, and Jim Peterson, the multiple champion. Peterson in his tire tracks. Stu Fern down on pit road with the deuce. And things are starting to settle in. And it looks like Adam Gray is still holding off Tommy Fern. Fern's car on that last circuit got evil, and Tommy Butler just went around Michael Bennett's.
And now trying to do the same thing. It looks like Scorzelli is trying to carve his way underneath that Bennett car. It is Tommy Fern. That car was very fast in qualifying tonight, but it looked like it might have lost something here in the feature as he is having difficulties with that car. There are no difficulties at all as far as the 7 is concerned of Kyle Casagrande as he stomps across the stripe with a pretty big lead over Corey Casagrande, in a great battle in the making for 3rd between J.J. Hill and Jim Peterson is all over his back bumper.
Peterson just doesn't give up. With the skill of a surgeon, he is right there with Hill as the 2 Casagrande. Oh! Hill's car suddenly was evil, and that gave Jimmy Peterson the spot. J.J. Hill is in big trouble on the top side of the racetrack, and his car comes to a screeching halt.
That car on life support, bringing out the yellow on lap number 9.
If it wasn't for bad luck, no luck at all for J.J. Hill. 9 of the 30 laps are in the record books. Fireworks coming up at the conclusion of this event.
You know, we might have some fireworks on this restart. When the Casagrandes ran in go-karts together, they've had some incidents between them. So when they advanced to the next level on Friday night, one of the things they did, they put the brothers in different divisions so they wouldn't have any problems.
That's right.
But they have run pretty well together this season in the late model division. And Kyle Casagrande, I think he's done better than a lot of people have expected. Corey Casagrande has had a great car, and in the nights when that car has been at its best, he's been involved in incidents. He really hasn't been able to show the fans how good that car is. Michael Bennett on his way to pit road, along with Rick Lanigan.
Michael Bennett's car is not up to par this evening. Rick Lanigan's car has run better, only been out 3 times, that car. And there's J.J. Hill. This is a very hardworking team. They don't have a lot of financing and money, but they're still able to run with the big dogs. But tonight, that car just shut down in the 4th turn. Josh Wood has adjusted well to our late model class. He is a graduate and a former champion from the Limiteds and the Dares. And then Connor Sullivan, I think, is in Rick Lanigan's pit.
Down here in the 31 pit, Rick Lanigan, they just brought him in for some adjustments on the right side of that car, sent him back out. As for the 41 of J.J. Hill, they're really not sure what the problem is on the car. They're waiting for the car to come back down here, so we'll have an update in just a bit.
J.J. Hill, he is on pit road at car number 41, a return engagement. As he has had a couple of good nights, but for the most parts, it's been evenings like this when he had a good car and something has gone wrong to that number 41.
It sure has, and that's really a heartbreaker. As I said, they work very hard and they never give up, that team. And it's just sometimes a part of the sport that just isn't fair about. So let's see what
that's why drivers jump on their cars when they win.
That's
because
right.
The valleys always outnumber the peaks.
They sure do. The Casagrande boys, who is going to have bragging rights for Sunday's dinner and be the big dog tonight? Or will the cars that follow be the spoilers? Green flag is out. Kyle with a little more giddy up than Corey. Bottom shot, turn 2. Kyle Casagrande. Here comes Big Jim Peterson. And the chase is on. Right there with him, Adam Gray, Mr. Smooth.
Trouble in the middle of the turn as it is Keene going around in car number 28, Darrell Keene, but he is able to correct the situation, and we stay under green flag action.
20 circuits remain. Gray has moved into the top 3. Gamba Corda still trying to work over Corey Casagrande. Joshua Wood has slipped a little further back, and Butler and Fern and Scorzelli are trying to thread the needle.
And here comes Butler trying to blockbuster his way underneath. Trouble as getting caught up in it is the one of Corey Casagrande. And Casagrande, who was second a moment ago, is now in about 9th place.
He certainly, all of a sudden, look at Cook. Cook's car's got a twitch.
He takes Gamba Corda with him.
He sure does. Gamba Corda keeps going, though. The old forward motion game. And Scott Cook is down on the greens, and there's the yellow.
Boy, it looked like those cars were driving with flat tires the way they were going into turn number 4. A lot of drivers having a hard time making those cars go straight. And the man who had the most severe problems was Corey Casagrande, who is now in 8th place after spending the first 9 or 10 laps of this race in 2nd.
Back down on pit road, Michael Bennett, who's been in and out of pit road. His team doesn't seem too enthusiastic as he stops on pit road. Like they're all kind of guessing on what they should be doing. Let's go down to Tony Sutton.
Well, J.J. Hill is taking the gloves off and unbuckling either the clutch assembly one of the plates have split away or the transmission, but it is locked up. He can roll the car if he puts the clutch in, but there's no engagement in the transmission, and they're done for the day.
Tough break for him, as we said. Nice kid, nice family, and they have struggled a lot in 2014. So Bennett looks like the last car out of pit road. And they're going to double them back up. Kyle Casagrande's got his hands full with Jim Peterson.
Having a kind of renaissance this year, a resurrection. And his shining moment, that 60-lap, extra distance, extra burn feature. And Jim Peterson made a late pit stop, but he still was able to get to the front and win that race.
Sure was. Row number 2, the point leader, defending champion, Adam Gray. Tommy Butler showing it was no fluke a week ago when he was back on the podium here at Stafford, because he is just shy of being there again. Tommy Fern, after being so strong in qualifying. Wood, last week's winners, in the 6th spot. Scorzelli is in 7th. Green, and they're racing.
And nobody's racing quicker right now than Jim Peterson, trying to get the jump on Kyle Casagrande. They are joined together at the hip in turn number 2. Casagrande pulls away. Look at that power move by Adam Gray, trying to get the lead.
Adam Gray shows why he is a champion and not a chump as he comes off the turn, gone. As Gray moves into the lead. Butler and Fern are 2 guys to keep your eyes on. Peterson kicks up a little rooster tail in the dust. Peterson is in trouble. 360 spin. Everybody scrambles.
Wow.
And right in the middle of all of that mess is Butler, Scorzelli, and let's go back down to Tony. It was not the Butler car. It was the other car that was in the mix, and that is the 16 of Wood. Tony Sutton has more.
Well, I'm down here right near Jim Peterson's pit, looking out as he was going into turn number 2. That car was sideways all the way around, and he almost saved it. Got a little bit of a tap, and that's what happened to turn him around. But that car was sideways from the midsection between 1 and 2, coming out on the back straightaway.
Yeah, you can see when he entered turn number 1, he was fighting it. And he lost the battle. It eventually snapped around on him. Josh Wood, I think, made just little tender contact and was able to minimize the damage in car number 15. But a very hectic turn of events on lap number 13 with Adam Gray. That's one of the best restarts of the season, because Adam Gray was able to go from 3rd to 1st. Josh Wood was involved in that altercation. Maybe we can find out what happened to him as we go to Connor Sullivan for this Flamingo Motorsports Report.
To the nose of Josh Woods. They're taking a look, see if they can get some of the sheet metal away from the right front tire. And they have taken off the whole nose. So trying to make sure the radiator is still intact. There is a little bit of water coming out of the overflow as well. They're trying to pull some sheet metal away from the left front as well, just trying to make sure they don't get a puncture, as they're going to bring out the rolls of duct tape to try and keep the right front from coming apart. Let's go to Tony Sutton.
100-mile-an-hour tape. Jim Peterson sits here anxiously hanging out the window as a crew is trying to put as much tape as possible on, because the fender supports were broken out from the inside and it was flapping around. Peterson not happy with what happened out there, but I'll tell you what, the racing was so close and those guys were so close to each other, and he got some kind of sideways. I think it was inevitable that what happened to the 17 was exactly how it was set up, we talked about later. They're working hard to get the tape on it. The wind deflectors being taken off the front. The crew's still working with tape. We'll send it back upstairs as Peterson anxiously waits to get back on the racetrack.
13 laps are up on the board of 30. Adam Gray is the leader. Kyle Casagrande, the early leader, is 2nd. Tommy Butler sets in the 3rd spot. Tommy Fern, 4th. Then it is the 31 car for Rich Lanigan from 14th. Pitted once, back to the top 5. Gambacorta is in the 6th spot. And then it looks like the 23 car. And then Cook. And then Michael Bennett. So they're going to double them back up. And car number 4 is being sent to the back of the field, politely putting it over aggression on the racetrack. Not over with yet by any stretch of the imagination. 2 laps to the halfway point, and then the final 15. No odds-on favorite in this one. Competition is very close as well. Pace car pulls away. Adam Gray, defending champion. Kyle Casagrande turning in some good runs here tonight. And Gray, look at Tommy Fern. Fern down underneath the Rick Lanigan 31 car. And look at Michael Bennett, Scott Cook, Corey Casagrande, and Jim Peterson. Gambacorda moves underneath the 31 car of Lanigan, and Michael Bennett sticks the nose down under. He's up to the top 5. Fern is all over Kyle Casagrande. Cross flags in the air. Half of the event is all but history. Adam Gray had a good point cushion going into the event, but Gray is a champion who likes to run for the win. Meanwhile, Casagrande is still in striking distance, and now Rick Lanigan, as Michael Bennett leaves the door open, goes by on the inside. Lanigan back up to the top 5. And here comes Butler and Peterson, 2 of the best veterans in this class, threading the needle, 17 of 30. The 31 car started 14th, pitted, and came from the back. What a difference a week makes. Josh Wood won last week, and now he has severe damage to the front end of his race car. Here comes Butler. Drives by Michael Bennett like Bennett was in caution mode. Butler isn't done yet, as he is back up to 6th after a penalty forced him to the back of the pack. Still leading. Gray, your dominant car. Gambacorda closing in on that 3rd place car number 92. 19 laps are up on the board, Matt.
Well, Gambacorda races hard for every lap. And let's see if he has enough to move into the podium at the expense of Tom Fern in car number 92. Tom Butler trying to make up for lost time, as right now he is hovering over the back bumper of the Rick Lanigan car, and he is almost there looking for room on the inside.
He certainly is. That's a good race going on as Butler continues to close up that gap. Bottom shot move. Lanigan car has got a little twitch to it coming off the turn, and now Butler is back to the top 5. Tommy Butler turning some heads again here tonight. 9 circuits to go before the fireworks, Matt.
And right now, the man with the fuse is 97 of Adam Gray, has a pretty solid lead over Kyle Casagrande. Kyle Casagrande has had an outstanding rookie year. There is no question about that. He has done everything but win, and he is in position to win again tonight.
Certainly is, as time is starting to run out. 8 circuits to go. Gray still in the lead. Kyle Casagrande has been very strong in 2nd. Fern tries to get him, but can't quite do it.
So it is the 32. Gambacorda put some heat on the back bumper of the Tom Fern car. So those 4 have been running in that order for a while. Down to the final 6 laps to go, and they hit the line, and Jim Peterson, right now he's the straw that stirs the drink, as he is going to go downstairs against Rick Lanigan, and Jim Peterson is able to pick up a position. He is now in the top 6.
Peterson surfacing back towards the front of the field. Lanigan has had a yo-yo type of a night, up and then down. but off the turn, Adam Gray. 5 to go. 5 to go for your defending champion and point leader, Matt. And he seems to have the field covered. But as Ryan Priest had mentioned, it's not over with till they cross the stripe for the final time.
And here comes a surge by Casagrande. So just when we think that Adam Gray can start rehearsing his victory speech, Kyle Casagrande puts a little shot into that number 97, and he continues to narrow the gap. So maybe Kyle Casagrande is saved a little bit on that number 7 for the final 3 laps.
Off the 4th turn. Now Casagrande isn't just in the tire tracks, he is right there to contend. 1.5 miles, less than a mile, and Gray starts to string it out even more.
Well, Gray has to drive a perfect race here because Kyle Casagrande is in position to strike if there is a bobble. Down to the final 2. Kyle Casagrande still in contention. In 3rd is Tom Fern. Gambacorta in 4th, and look at Tom Butler. He was a lot farther back from the 32 just a moment ago, but he has moved into a competitive position. Down to the white flag lap. Adam Gray is trying to seal the deal.
He certainly is, and Adam Gray looks good. Final time through turn 1. Final time through turn 2. Down the back straightaway. Strings it out deep into turn number 3. No challenge at the point, but off turn number 4, checkered flag is out, and Gray will take down the win, finishing in 2nd. Good run for Kyle Casagrande. Tommy Fern to finish in 3rd. Kevin Gambacorta, nice run for 4th at the comeback of the night. Tommy Butler to finish in 5th. Same can be said about Jim Peterson in 6th.
And Rick Lanigan in 7th, Corey Casagrande in 8th, Michael Bennett 9th, Scott Cook in 10th.
Then it's Darrell Keene in 11th. In the 12th spot, Rich Heyman, Josh Wood for 13th, Michael Scarzelli for 14th, J.J. Hill a disappointing 15th, and Stu Fern to round out the top 16. Don't go away. We've got fireworks after our victory lane, as this is the Back to Schools Blitz. But right now, Adam Gray is on top of his game, a very familiar sight in Napa Victory Lane.
And I think it was a restart to remember. He was in 3rd going on the restart. The 2 Casagrandes were in front of him, and all of a sudden, it was that number 97 who was able to springboard his way underneath the 7 car and to move into the lead and eventually into victory. But restarts are important, and I think tonight Adam Gray showed everybody just how important those restarts are.
Certainly did, and in Napa Victory Lane, in just a moment, we'll be heading there to meet our top 3 drivers for tonight's presentation. Adam Gray expands that lead. He had a good cushion going in, but now he has a better cushion at the conclusion of tonight's events. So our attention shifts to Napa Victory Lane as we're about ready to go down and meet our winner. As Tony Sutton is there in the winner's circle. Tony?
The equipment off. He's Napa hat's on, a little bit of water to replace what he lost. Getting to the front, taking his time getting out of the car. I think he's just enjoying the moment. Late model winner, Adam Gray, out of the car. Well, you had to work to get to the front, but once you did, you put it in cruise control and watched the dice hang from the window.
Yeah, there's no cruise control. Kyle was there ready to strike. Hats off to him for running me clean. Took water in the wrong pipe here. I want to thank all my sponsors, Meadows Motor Car, Land's Auto Repair, OJS Construction, Trackside Motors, Pizza Shop, Barco, Hot Tables, Statewide Auto Auction, Leon's Auto Repair, Perry's Auto Parts, Joey Ham, Ham's Chassis, CT Trailers for what they do for the division, Napa and Stafford Speedway.
Adam, great job. Congratulations on your victory. I know you're in the lead in points, and this is going to help put a bigger cushion on it. But I'll tell you what, there's a lot of guys out there that would like to gun you down.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of time left in the season, and we're just here for fun. And I also want to thank Buzzy and Mike from Magnus.
Well, I'll tell you what, there ain't no more fun than Victory Lane. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, you worked that car as hard as you could work that car. I'll tell you what, you know, the podium finish is not where you wanted to be in second spot, but you drove the wheels off that car, and if it wasn't for kind of a slip-up early part of the race, I think you had the car to beat.
Yeah, the guys gave me a great car. John Smith, my dad, Bob Phil, BFR Chassis went up there this week, and they came back great car. Adam made a nice move on me on a restart and got behind me. I think I was just as fast as him, but not fast enough to catch him. But we got the car dialed in good, so I'm excited for next week, and I'll take it. I got to thank everyone that works in the car, Albert, Nephew, Scott, my spotter, John Smith, Jeff, just everybody that helps out. Ruby's Fine Wines and Liquors, Ameriprise Financial, Marquise Landscaping, Ride Auto Machine, and I got to say happy birthday to my mom. It was her birthday yesterday, and we'll be back next week.
I'll tell you what, that number 7 looks good in that place, but I'll tell you, it would look much better in this place. Congratulations on second.
All right, thank you.
You're sneaking up on me, Tom Fern.
I've been here a long time.
Yes, you have. I understand that. You ran hard, third place, podium finish. Before the fireworks come out, give me a little bit of hint about what your status was.
Well, we just got the car back from Joe Ham. He put a front clip on it, and we had a little bit of tuning to do to it, a little bit tight tonight. But I got to thank my crew. We've been up late all week getting this thing going, and Stu and the guys, my wife, and friends and family. I got to thank them the most. And Safeco Foam, Rad Auto Machine. He puts the power under the hood, and Kush from Sun Valley Fire Equipment.
Well, Tom, congratulations on third place.